guys, I mean, is the defense going to go down that road? Do you think they might actually point the finger as potential reasonable doubt that Jason Amato did it because he'll get all the money and he's going to frame his brother for all this?
Worth a shot, I guess, if you have nothing else. I mean, I think that's it could be a decent defense, especially now that he got on the stand, and I think it sounds like he did an okay job, but when his girlfriend got up there and she's talking about the gift card, it made absolutely no sense.
It made sense. We just showed it to you.
No, it didn't make sense.
Yes, it did.
She had a gift card for $25, so the bill was $39. She gave her gift card for $25, and then $14 was the remaining balance.
Oh, that she paid not on the gift card.
But the good news for the defense is, you may be right or you may be wrong, but the defense may not have even thought about using some other dude did it, the SOD, somebody else did it. But now, whether they were thinking about it or not, some juror is questioning whether there was another explanation. Somebody else could have done it. If you're the defendant, boy, you just got some hope. You're thinking, somebody on the jury is trying to find a way to find somebody else did it or get me off the hook. So you got to have some more hope if you're the defense.
And this is why I do not like this jury questioning. I am not in favor of this at all, especially if I'm...
Wait. I just want to let the record reflect that defense attorneys don't like this.
I don't mind it. I'm fine with it.
I don't like it.
Disagree on that.
Because, I mean, it can go either way. And their line of questioning, no, I want to paint my own story as the defense attorney. And I don't want them asking questions that I'm not asking or that the information that I don't want to come out. So now they have the opportunity to ask questions that, you know, they're coming up with and thinking about. No, I want them to
You don't want the jury to have all the answers?
No, I want to paint the picture. I want to paint the picture and paint it in such a way that my client looks the best. And it's not my job as the defense attorney to come up with who did it. You know.
No, Tiffany's also right, because I like them asking questions because I know where they're coming from. It lets me see into the jury's mind a little bit. But the problem is, it's not the questions. It's the fact that all of a sudden they get the answer. Because if they went back to the jury room with that unanswered question sounds like reasonable doubt. Unfortunately for the defense,
but also
the question was answered.
Questions that are not answered appropriately or that seem to be answered not truthfully could then go the other way. So, because I feel like one thing that stuck out to me, and I think he was probably being truthful too, but he said he was at dinner with his two kids for more like 2 hours at BJ's, and I don't like that. That sounds weird. It's a school night, but you were out for dinner for.
He was guessing.
He said 7:30 to 9 or so, 9:30. He wasn't sure. I mean, who keeps track? What time did you get home from dinner last night? I have no idea.
I don't spend 2 hours at dinner usually.
Yeah, I think that was a mistake. It's probably an honest mistake, but use what you get.
Exactly.
Right. So who cares about this receipt? I mean, that's more. That's not
I'll tell you why the receipt could be important. If the jury believes that only 3 people had dinner together that night, which is mom and the 2 daughters, and it doesn't literally add up to 4 people, then that's a problem, right?
Right, and that's
for
allowing
Jason
them to
Amato
fish.
and the prosecution.
Right, it's allowing them to fish too much.
Yeah, we shall see. All right.
Math major, though.
So there has been, and I like when they ask questions. You know why? Because I want the truth in a trial. I want the truth, and I want the jury's questions to be answered so they know the truth about what happened. But that's just me. That's not Tiffany and other criminal defense attorneys. All right, a lot of scrutiny about the alibi of Grant Amato's brother, Jason. You know, the prosecution explained it, the defense targeted it, and some jurors questioned the receipt we were just talking about for the dinner he ate with his girlfriend and the children on the night of the murder. So our question for you, I think we've given you enough here so far, but go on to Vinnie Politan Court TV or Court TV's Facebook page and answer this question. Was Jason Amato's alibi credible?
Well, kind of tell us what happened then. The police made contact with you sometime afternoon.
It was pretty scary. So they, came into the building and the whole building got shut down and there were police officers everywhere. They took me into a room and, questioned me and later gave me very general details that there was a woman and 2 males in their 30s found in the house. So I just tried to answer. No, I'm good. So I just tried to answer their questions as best as possible. And they questioned me for, I was with them all day, but they initially questioned me for a couple hours, and then they went and searched my car in the parking lot for a couple hours, and then they went and searched my house for a couple hours. So, during that whole time, I was with the investigators all day, and they were constantly asking me questions, just tendencies about my parents and brothers and stuff.
All right, a couple things about this testimony that I think is so significant. Number one is the emotion of Jason Amato as he's testifying about learning that his mother, father, and one of his brothers have been killed inside his house. And you can see, from my perspective, it seems very genuine. But the other part of this is what he's testifying about. Because remember, a little bit earlier in the case, there were some questions sort of raised through cross-examination by the defense that investigators here targeted Grant Amato, and that was it, right? Grant Amato did it, and that's the only place we're looking. Well, that testimony makes it pretty clear to me, at least, that they did the same thing to Jason Amato. They started this investigation where they should start it. No sign of break-in, no sign of anything stolen from the house, and 3 people shot and killed execution style, and 2 other people who were related to these folks inside the house are questioned. To me, it makes sense. Perfectly logical, credible investigation. Maybe not. Let me bring back in my think tank. I'll begin with you, Tiffany. Is this enough? Because we saw the defense was going down this road where they were saying, rush to judgment, focusing on one guy only. But it looks like they were focusing on more than one guy, out of the box at least.
Well, for me, it's good on the defense side.
Why?
They don't have enough. They do not have enough. Now you're going to point to the brother, and then what's the motive for the brother killing the parents and his other brother?
No. But at least they're investigating someone other than the defendant. The defense in their cross-examination was saying they went after this guy and they questioned him, and that's it. They didn't look anywhere else. They weren't dusting for fingerprints on every piece of every rail, every doorknob inside the house. But here, to me, it's clear that the investigation started with the people closest to the victims, and they treated them both the same, Grant Amato and Jason Amato.
But do we know that? Because we haven't seen a video.
No.
So we don't know how they interrogated Jason, or if they interrogated Jason the way they did Grant. And I would assume that it's different because of Grant's history and what was going on. We don't know what kind of questions they asked the brother. Of course, you're going to question everyone around them and anyone affiliated with them. But I don't think that they questioned him and grilled him the way that they did Grant.
Randy, how about they're doing a search of his car, searching his house, locking him down at work? Yeah, seems like they were serious.
They were serious, and you know what? They chose to go after the person that they didn't like, and that's going to be the defense's entire closing argument. They could have chosen anybody to pin this on. They could have chosen either of the brothers. They chose the one that was the least likable, the one they thought, he's such a bad person, he probably did it. Well, that's just not good enough for a murder conviction.
As a defense attorney, I hate that I'm saying this, but I actually...
Just be honest.
Yeah, I tend to feel that that Jason genuinely seemed like he was kind of, when he was describing what had happened to him at the beginning when he was learning that his parents and sibling had died, that he seemed scared of kind of like what they were asking him about. He did seem genuine to me, and even though he didn't full out cry, I do think that he made it kind of clear that he was
It seemed like a real moment to me.
Really,
it seemed like a real moment. Kelvin,